Hey, let me start with the motivation behind this video. My 9-year-old daughter is constantly asking me about different flowers and different birds that we see in our backyard, and 90% of the time I have no clue what those flowers are called or the plants. So I figured why not use the power of large language models and AI to solve that problem. So hey, let's get into the agenda for the video here. I'm going to show you how to create a Streamlit app that can take a picture using the camera on your laptop, iPhone, desktop, etc. And then we'll send that picture to a multimodal large language model, such as Gemini Pro Vision or GPT-4 Vision model. And then that's where my daughter can ask questions about that picture and say, what is this bird? What's the name of the bird, etc. And the multimodal large language model will know it and tell my daughter what that bird's name is. All right, and then I'm going to show you how to. So that wasn't going to solve the problem for me because I needed to find a way to get this application on her iPad so she can be independently taking pictures of birds and flowers and plants and ask questions. So I'm going to show you how to do that. We'll deploy the app, the Streamlit app, onto Heroku's platform. So you can share this app with others. And now I'm going to show you how to actually then download that app that we deployed to Heroku onto iPhone or iPad's home screen, so it looks like an iOS app. And what do I mean by that? Let's pretend this is an iPhone. So basically, I'm going to show you how to take that app that we deployed on Heroku and get it on the home screen of your iPhone, and we can label it whatever we want to. So let's get into it. And actually, before we get into it, 3 quick things as I always do. I will leave a link to my code that created the app in the description below. And 2, if you like what you're going to learn in this video and hear about in this video, please like the video. And if you want to keep track of the videos that I release, please subscribe. So here's what the app looks like. And I have my camera pointing towards the picture on a wall. So we're just going to go ahead and take a picture. This is how the app works. All right. I had something here that I just had it written out, so I knew it was working. So here, we're going to say what, yeah, they describe the picture. Something straightforward like that. And let's see, it's a picture of a painting is of a large sailing ship at sea. 2 ships in the background, I guess one. I don't know. Yeah, it looks like 2. The sea is rough. I guess it's rough, etc. So there you go. This large language models, such multimodal large language models from GPT and definitely from Google. And I've done a lot of videos about Google Gemini 1.0 and 1.5, etc. They're very powerful. They get this kind of stuff. They have no problem answering these things, and definitely answer questions about all these birds and plants, and they'll, be able to name them. So here's the code behind that app, and this is my final code. And so it's been cleaned up for things like the hooray doesn't show up, etc. So hey guys, I don't get into like writing codes and show you how to write codes. There are certainly other videos on YouTube that can teach you how to write Python codes, but I'm going to assume either you just have interest in understanding how to leverage large language models, or you have some background with Python coding. So, but I'll give you the code, right? So you can reverse engineer it. That's the best way to learn anyway, is to reverse engineer someone else's code. Basically, you're going to need a Google's API key, and then here's the setup for the page that basically has the header and all that good stuff. And this is it, guys. This is the code right here. What's highlighted is the code that created this app. We take a picture, right, and we open that picture, store it here, and we ask the user to provide a prompt, question, etc. And then essentially we pass the question and the image to Gemini 1.0 Pro Vision model, and it comes back with the response, and we print the response as we did here. All right. So that's that. Next thing is how do we get it? How do we get this app onto Heroku? And the reason I want to do that is once I launch it on a platform like Heroku, which is a Salesforce platform, or it could be Google Cloud or on AWS, whatever platform. But I find Heroku is much easier to deal with, especially for those who are beginning to learn how to launch apps more publicly. Okay, and so that's the reason we want to launch this on Heroku, because it's easy to do compared to Google, in my opinion. And by getting it on the Heroku is how I can ultimately get this app into my daughter's hand. Okay, and I'll show you exactly what I mean by that as we go through the video here. All right, so this is the code. In order to deploy this app onto Heroku, there are three other files that we need to provide. One is a requirements text, which is basically the libraries that Heroku is going to have to install on our behalf for this app to work. So we have to list them out: Streamlit, Google Generative AI, and Pillow. That's the guy that allows us to open and load the picture. And then these are two files that are required by Heroku, specifically by Heroku. First one is the setup.sh shell file. They require this shell file. In my link, in my description below, I will leave this code for you guys, because this is rinse and repeat. You can use this for any app. So I'm not going to break this down. I have a video I've done where you can go ahead and learn what this is all about. So we need this shell file, and the second thing we need is this Procfile, and it's important to spell the P. That has to be a capital P. So it's important. So all you have to do is, again, this is a rinse and repeat. I'm going to leave this in the description below. All you would do is change the name of the code here. I have called it app.py. If you had called it XYZ, you would call it, that's what you would refer to here, is that, hey, run xyz.py. Okay, that's all it takes. We're going to come to the Heroku's platforms. It's part of Salesforce. It's going to require that you have a GitHub account and you actually have created all these files. You loaded your code here. It's provided a requirements text file, you have the shell file and the proc file, and most importantly, that you have a Heroku account. I have an account and I use it, but I don't use it so heavily that I need to do this so that I'm going to pay a whole lot of money for it. So there are different versions of Heroku. The one that I use costs $5 a month to keep my web apps up and running. Okay, $5 a month, and there are no variable costs. But there are downsides to it, because the apps that I launch, when someone opens that URL, it takes about a minute to wake the app up. In any case, it's $5 a month. Once you open the account, etc. So first thing when you on your home screen, you'll see it create a new app. I've already done that. I'm going to name it something. I'm just going to call it demo AI app. And the name's available, good. And we're just going to hit create app. Okay, how am I going to do this? When I'm going to use any CLI, and I can do a video on how to deploy this using a command line interface. But I'm going to show you the easiest way to do it. Connect to GitHub, and I'm already connected. And here's my GitHub name. So what am I going to do here? I'm going to put in app, not app.py. It's what do I call it here? pic_AI, pic_AI. I'm going to search it. It will, of course, find it. So it's going to connect to this guy, which has these 4 files. And say connect. And it's going to ask you one more question. Wait for CI to pass before deploy. I'm not going to do that, but I'm going to enable automatic deploys. Basically, I'm not going to get into the concept of CI and CD, but here's the continuous integration. I'm going to enable it. So anytime you change, all that means is that let me deploy the branch here. All that means is that if I ever came here and made some changes in this guy, I don't know, added some extra text boxes, etc., whatever it may be, having a continuous integration, it's just going to pick up the fact, it's going to refresh the code, basically, in simple English. So that's CI. And sometimes you'll see those things CI and even CD, which stands for continuous development. So it's building the log. It does this little magical thing. It takes maybe like a minute and a half um, to take this guy that I built here, and essentially we're going to see this thing. Right now it's on my local host. It's locally, being hosted. Uh, but the whole idea of using Heroku is I can now publicly showcase this app and share the URL with others so they can go also play around with it. Now, guys, you want to be careful. Like, if you're using API keys and those APIs cost you money, I mean, you want to limit who you share that with. All right, so yeah, deploy it to Heroku. It's doing its thing. It takes, like I said, bang, it's done. Your app was successfully deployed. All right, let's go check it out. So this is what it should look like. Now, it shouldn't have the picture there yet. Right, so it shouldn't have these answers and all that stuff. So let's go to Heroku, view the app, and it's okay. So it's going to. So when you launch this, right? The security. I have an Apple Mac here, so it's looking out for me. It's saying, hey, someone's trying to use this app's trying to use your camera. And you can say allow me every visit, don't allow, etc. I'm going to say allow, bang. So now, guys, this is the link. This is the URL, demo-AI AI app. That's what we called it. That's some randomly generated number by heroku.herokuapp.com. You could copy this and send an email, paste this into an email, text message, whatever, send it to whomever. And in my case, again, the motivation was I wanted to do this for my daughter. So I'm going to show you from this step. Now that we have deployed it using Heroku, this app, which I can share publicly with others. In this case, it would be with my daughter. And so guys, so after I finish with this video, I'm going to delete this app, so you're not going to find this guy. And just for obvious reasons. And so we've got this far. The only step that's left is how do I get this onto my iPhone home screen as a little icon here. So it looks like, whether it's Facebook, you'll see your apps icon here, which is this guy.
All right, so we deployed the app on Heroku and we got the URL from Heroku, which we can share publicly because now the app is on a public domain. So now I want to get this on my iPhone's home screen, or it could be my daughter's iPad, but I'm going to show you how to do that. So open up your browser. In my case, it's Safari. Paste that URL from Heroku, hit go, and it's going to ask the same question. Yes, I want to allow to use the camera. All right, so I'm pointing my camera to the ceiling here. And so it's the same app, right, that we had created. So the way to get it on a home screen is we're just going to do this and say add to home screen, and we can name it, whatever we like, and we'll call it, I don't know, photo AI, and say done. And there it is, photo AI. I click on it, and it's going to open up that app. And what's cool is that now you got this guy here, right? That looks like any other app, and you can now showcase that on your home screen, and that's all it takes, guys.
So, so now I've shown you how to take a Streamlit app such as this and deploy it to Heroku and get it downloaded onto your iPhone's home screen or iPad's home screen. And so hopefully you'll take me up on taking the code that I'm leaving a link for that will take you to my GitHub account, and you can take this code and play around with it for yourself. And now you know how to deploy it through Heroku so that you can ultimately get it onto the home screen of an iPad or an iPhone. So until next time.